Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Hope you're all doing well. This is my Thursday evening, or my Friday Eve as I like to call it. Hope you've all had a good week thus far. I wanted to go ahead and read a quick article for you all and give you my opinion on what is going to happen due to what you see here. U.S. farmers face devastation following Midwest floods. I know I haven't really covered this very much because this type of news is all over the news, to include the mainstream media, even though I don't watch the mainstream media, but I'm assuming that it is. But one thing that I was thinking about today while I was reading a couple of these articles, and I ran into this one, is what's going to happen due to this kind of devastation, because it really is devastating to what's happening to our Midwestern states due to these floods that are happening. And not only here in the United States, but in other countries as well, all right? As far as crop failures go, as far as delayed crop plantings, as far as livestock, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and read this real quick. I got two other really short articles that I'm not going to really read through, all right? I'm just going to show you them so that you can go to them if you like to, okay? So here we go. U.S. farmers face devastation following Midwest floods. And it says in here, Winslow, Nebraska, Chicago, March 20. Midwestern farmers have been gambling they could ride out the U.S.-China trade war by storing their corn and soybeans anywhere they could, in bins, plastic tubes, in barns, or even outside. Now the unthinkable has happened. Record floods have devastated a wide swath of the farm belt across Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and several other states. Early estimates of lost crops and livestock are approaching $1 billion in Nebraska alone. With more flooding expected, damages are expected to climb much higher for the region. As river levels rose, spilling over levees and swallowing up townships, farmers watched helplessly as the waters consumed not only their fields, but their stockpiles of grain, the one thing that can stand between them and financial ruin. And this is a quote, "I've never seen anything like this in my life," said Tom Geisler, a farmer in Winslow, Nebraska, who said he lost 2 full storage bins of corn. "We had been depending on the income from our livestock, but now all of our feed is gone, so that is going to be even more difficult. We haven't been making any money from our grain farming because of trade issues and low prices." The pain does not end there. As the waters began to recede in parts of Nebraska, the damage to the rural roads, bridges, and rail lines was just beginning to emerge. This infrastructure is critical for the U.S. agricultural sector to move products from farms to processing plants and shipping hubs. The damage to roads means it will be harder for trucks to deliver seed to farmers for the upcoming planting season. But in some areas, the flooding on fields will render them all but impossible to use. The deluge is the latest blow for the Farm Belt, which has faced several crises in the last 5 years, as farm incomes have fallen by more than 50% due to a global grain glut. President Trump's trade policies cut off exports of soybeans and other products, making the situation worse. Soybeans were the single most valuable U.S. agricultural export crop, and until the trade war, China bought $12 billion worth a year from American farmers. But Chinese tariffs have almost halted the trade, leaving farmers with crops they are struggling to sell for a profit. Corn and soybeans destroyed. As prices plummeted last year amid the ongoing trade fight, growers faced with selling crops at a loss stuffed a historic volume of grain into winding plastic tubes and steel bins. Some cash-strapped families piled crops inside their barns or outside on the ground. Farmers say they are now finding storage bags torn and bins burst open, grain washed away and contaminated. Jeff Jorgensen, a farmer and regional director for the Iowa Soybean Association, said he has seen at least a dozen bins that burst after grains swell when they became wet. Under U.S. Food and Drug Administration policy, flood-soaked grains is considered adulterated and must be destroyed, according to Iowa State University. Some farmers had been waiting for corn prices to rise just 10 cents a bushel 10 cents a bushel more before making sales, which would earn them a few extra $1,000, Jorgensen said. That's the toughest pill to swallow, Jorgensen said. This could end their career of farming and the legacy of the family farm. As of December 1st, producers in states with flooding, including South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Illinois, had 6.75 billion bushels of corn, soybeans, and wheat stored on their farms. 38% of the total U.S. supplies available at the time, according to U.S. Department of Agricultural data. Iowa suffered at least $150 million in damage to agriculture buildings and machinery, and 100,000 acres of farmland are underwater, said Keely Kopes, a spokeswoman for the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship. Extent of damage unclear. The record flooding has killed at least 4 people in the Midwest and left 1 person missing. The extent of damage is unknown as meteorologists expect more flooding in coming weeks. Early estimates put flood damage at $400 million in losses for Nebraska's calf industry and another $440 million in crop losses. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts told a news conference on Wednesday. The water came so fast, said John Hansen, president of the Nebraska Farmers Union. We know our farmers didn't have enough time to move all the cattle or empty all their grain bins. Multiple washouts and high water on BNSF railway companies' main lines have caused major disruptions across the Midwest, the company warned on its website. The flooding also has disrupted part of Hormel Foods' core supply chain, the company told Reuters. The roads are so bad that Nebraska's National Guard on Wednesday will push hay out of a military helicopter to feed cattle in Colfax County stranded by floodwaters. Major General Darrell Bohack said, "It is the first time in at least half a century that such an airdrop has been conducted," he said. Cattle carcasses have been found tangled in debris or rotting in trees, while tractors and other expensive machinery are stuck in mud, unable to be moved. We should have been getting into planting for next season, but now all of our equipment is flooded and it's going to take at least 3 to 4 weeks to bring back the equipment into shape, said Geisler, the farmer in Winslow, Nebraska. And that's the end of this article. So, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not only happening here in the United States, okay? This is happening in other parts of the world. This here happened late last year. I believe this is in Australia. Yes, in Australia. Queensland floods. 500,000 cattle survived years-long drought, only to die in the rain. And this was in Australia. They lost 500,000 cattle due to flooding. All right? And let's see. This one here says 3.4 million chickens and 5,500 hogs killed in Florence flooding. And this was in September of last year, and I believe that's in Florence, North Carolina. Let's see if that is in North Carolina or not. Yes, in North Carolina. So what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, when I read you this article and then the other 2 quick ones just to show you what's going on around the world, is what do you think that this is going to do to the price of food? All right. Now, you may not be seeing a major change in the price of foods right now because it hasn't been that long since this happened. But I'm telling you what I think is going to happen is that the price of beef, the price of pork, the price of chicken, all right, the price of corn, all right, wheat, flour, prices of the staples that we depend on, not only to feed ourselves, but to feed the livestock that we depend on to eat, is going to go up. In the end, we are going to end up paying a lot more for every kind of food that you can think of. Think about corn. Think about all the corn that was lost and what corn is used in. Corn is used in almost everything. Darn it, it's even used in gasoline. You know, they even use it to mix, 10 or 15% ethanol in gasoline that you put in your vehicles. So corn is used in almost everything. Almost anything that you buy nowadays, you know, that's not like fully organic and things like that, has some kind of a corn syrup or some kind of a corn byproduct in it. All right. And that's just corn. All right. So what I'm getting at is that if you're watching this channel for the first time, first of all, thank you for watching and please subscribe. Okay. We have a great community here. But you need to start thinking about what kind of things you're going to do to mitigate the prices of foods when they start going up. Because I don't think that they're going to go up at a very slow rate. I think they're going to go up very fast, all right? And I don't mean that they're going to triple or quadruple in price, you know, overnight. But I think you're going to see prices that you're going to recognize right away when they go up. Like, for example, let's say I go and buy a tub of peanut butter, you know, that's normally $3. And then the next time I go a week or two later, it's $3.60, all right? That's a 20% increase, all right? But what if that happens with almost all the foods that we eat? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading this because I think that it is important for you to understand that these devastations, all right, is going to affect everyone. And even the devastation that's occurring in other parts of the world, like in Australia, where they lost 500,000 cattle, all right, it will affect us as well. Because what happens when the supply of something is diminished, all right? Those 500,000 cattle that they lost in Australia, they're going to have to replace them from somewhere. So whoever was buying those cattle from them that are not going to be able to buy, they're going to look somewhere else to buy. And when there's more demand for something, the price of that something will go up, all right? Because supply and demand is a major factor on price, okay? It's not only inflation that makes the price of goods go up. It's also the supply and the demand of that particular good, all right? So prepare accordingly. Take a look at what you have and stock up the best that you can so that we can ride this out. So what I've been seeing here lately with this weather and with these crop losses and losses of livestock, such as cattle, hogs, chickens, it's been predicted. If you watch the Ice Age Farmer, all right, Christian over there, he's been saying this for months now, that the price of food will be going up because we will be losing crops, we will be losing livestock. And now, not only have we lost as a country all of these crops, right, that could have gone into the market, but their planting season has been delayed because of the weather. So now normally where they would have started planting corn probably this month or next month, now they're not going to be able to start planting corn or wheat probably till May or June. So their season is going to be delayed by a couple of months, whereas they could have maybe planted 2 crops in 1 year. Now they maybe only be able to plant 1. And if I've got any farmers that do this for a living that maybe watch this, please comment and let us know if there's any validity to me telling people that they're going to need to start thinking about how to mitigate the cost of food, because food is going to start getting more expensive, and really more expensive, not just by a few percentages, you know, but by maybe double-digit percent, all right, in the following months, all right? So that's what I wanted to put out there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link to this story right here, to this article, in the bottom of the description where I normally leave links to articles that I read if you guys want to go take a look at it yourself. But I'm going to start preparing even more for this, and it will be evident to you that I'm preparing for this when you see my next payday prep. So this week is a payday prep, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to have my payday prep video up for Friday, but for sure I'll be able to have it up for Saturday, okay? Because I have to do a lot of preparing for that video that I'm going to show you guys. But please stay tuned for my next payday prep. It will be in preparation for what I just told you, okay? We're going to have the price of meat go up, all right? I'm saying double digits. I'm saying percentage-wise in double digits. And the price of grain, products go up as well, because we can't replace the loss. You heard me read this. Once all of that grain that these farmers had stored away, once they got wet, all right, they can no longer be used for human consumption, which I think that in the future, remember years ago, it was taboo to eat anything from a can that was expired, right? And then maybe a couple of years ago or so, we started getting articles telling us, hey, listen, if your canned foods are expired, it's okay to eat them, all right? I think it's going to go that direction to where we are going to be encouraged to preserve and eat foods that are expired. I think that we're going to start seeing articles through the mainstream media encouraging people to eat expired foods. People, they'll start telling us, hey, there's really nothing wrong with this if it's a month or 2 months or 3 months over its expiration, which they're right. If you guys don't remember me reading you that article on canned foods and how long they're good for, canned foods pretty much last indefinitely as long as the integrity of the can is still in place and the food was stored in a proper manner. Okay, but they've never really gone out on mainstream media and started telling people, hey, you probably may want to start eating expired food that you have because there's really nothing wrong with it. Whereas before they just wanted us to consume. Now I think they're going to start to change their narrative. And I could be wrong, but I think they will. I think they will start to change their narrative into telling us that, hey, it's okay to consume food that's expired. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it at right now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to make this video too long of just me babbling on. All right, I wanted to say something really quick. I wanted to say thank you very much for all of your support. Okay, if there is anyone new here, please feel free to click on the subscribe button. All right, once you subscribe and you come on here a little more often, you'll see that we have a very nice community of like-minded people that want to help each other out. Okay, it's not really a one-way thing here with this channel. All right, it's really two-way. There's a lot of very like-minded people here that like to help each other out in the comment section and help each other out with any kind of information that may be useful to one another. Okay, so click the subscribe button. If you are one of the regulars that spends a few minutes on here every time I put a video up, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your support and you coming back and contributing to the community the way that you do. All right, so thank you. I just wanted to put that out there. I also wanted to thank you guys for your support in the way of not only watching my videos and not only giving it a thumbs up or sharing, and of course commenting. That's really important that you guys comment and share information with each other, but also in using my links. I just noticed today, this morning, I went to my Amazon associates page and I noticed that someone made a big purchase of like $500 and something. And the reason I noticed is because I don't earn that much from Amazon. It's only a few percentage points that I get per purchase. And I noticed that I got like a $40 something associate fee added to my account because someone made a big purchase. So whoever that is, whichever one of you did that, thank you very much for using my link. You really, I hope you understand that really does help a lot. It may be only a few pennies on the average, but if you guys have purchases to make, please use the link. It doesn't cost you any more, and it truly does support the channel, okay? So thank you very much to those of you that are supporting the channel in that way. Other ways to support the channel is if you are in the market for precious metals, please use my SD Bullion account. Okay, I only get a very small commission for that, no matter how much you spend. You could spend $1 million and the commission that I get is the same commission. Okay, but I appreciate it if you go through there. However, remember, I always say that I am a big advocate of people using their local coin shops to shop for their precious metals, first and foremost. All right, however, if you don't have one near you, and the best you can do is shop with an online company, please feel free to use the link. It really helps to support the community and allows me to do the things that I do with you guys. Okay. Also, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to let 1 or 2 short commercials run through. Right? I don't want you guys to even think that I'm asking that I want you to spend 10 minutes watching a commercial. No, if it's a short commercial, please let it play through. That really helps a lot as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the begging I'm going to do for now. And I want to leave it off with thank you again for the great community that we've built here. You guys are really awesome. I truly do appreciate you guys, especially those of you that take a little extra time to leave comments, okay? Because that's what really sets us apart from other channels that I've seen, is that you guys are really interested in helping each other out, all right, by the comments that you leave. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Like I said, I'll be putting up a payday prep. More than likely, it will be put out on Saturday. I actually have a couple of videos this weekend that I really want to put out because I think there'll be somewhat of a fun video to put out. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow on Friday. Remember that when good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. When we all do this, the world will be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.